Good morning, guys. So this morning was kind of shot out because I was waiting for, we put a mini split in the bus. So we actually had a guy come out and install it. You know, for the cost of the unit was like 500 bucks, 600 bucks. And to install it, he only charged me a couple $100 to put it in. So well worth him doing it because that's what he does. So anyway, so now the bus has heat and air. So we'll probably be starting. That was the first major piece or expenditure that we needed to do to start working on the inside of the bus, right? We live in Florida, so the bus with the atmosphere, a lot of humidity, whatever we put in that bus, even though it's spray foamed and all that, it may have a tendency of getting condensation like mold or whatever. So now that we got heat and air, now we can start putting stuff in the bus and start getting that worked out. But for today, pretty much there's nothing I can do that I wanted to do on this video. I wanted to load up the front, the radiator, but the radiator is actually too short for the hoses to run. Obviously, if I was running an electric fan, it wouldn't be any issue, but I'm not running an electric fan. I'm running a mechanical fan. So in order for it to clear the upper radiator hose, I need a taller radiator. So what I'm going to do is, I have an idea. I kind of started working on it on the other side while the guy was here. I did get the driver's side fender off. About 3 of the bolts didn't snap, meaning that behind there is a caged nut. So with the caged nut, either it breaks the cage nut off inside that channel, which has no access to it. So unless you drill holes up underneath to gain access to the cage nut, there is no access there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fender off. I sprayed them all down with PB Blaster a couple times this week because I kind of had an idea I would be doing that because my radiator wouldn't work after all. So I have a $150 radiator here that maybe will be for the next project. I don't know. So these bolts up in here are 1/2 inch. Oh, hold on. So you guys see, I did take the other fender off. I do not like these lights out front here. I do not like how wide these fenders are. This is part of my getting the fenders in for a wheel, right? But I want to put these on, or the fenders that I have on, before I start working on wheel, whatever. But anyway. So that's driver's side fender. So I try to do everything on the passenger side because it's easier for me to record it on the passenger side. So that's why I left the passenger side. So I'm going to cut this fender off the bolts because now they're just spinning inside there. So I have to cut them off, and then we'll get this fender off, and then I'll show you what I'm putting up there. So let's get into cutting the fender off. If anything else, these will make great wall hangers. So everywhere here, right there, that's the cage nut, and you can't get to it because there's no opening here. But the fenders that I have, basically only one lines up how I want it, and that would be this one right here. Boop. So the other side, I've already got one in. I got a bolt here, and I got clamps here, and a clamp in the front right here where this lip used to be. So I'm not saying these fenders won't need a little bit of work to get them to look right or whatever, but overall, they're not bad. So let's get that fender and I'll show you. Here it is. So this is a Volkswagen Beetle fender. I'll put in a picture right here of what these look like with those fenders on it. And overall, I think those look way better than those big headlight things, frog eyes or whatever. So this sort of fits. Like that one would go right there, and that goes there. And as you can see, it doesn't look like it fits. But the one thing I like about these, sorry. The one thing I like about these is it takes 2 inches off the width of the fender. So instead of 11 inches out from here to here, it only is 9. So right there I made up 2 inches. The only issue besides from here to here, it doesn't reach all the way. It only stops to about here, I think. Is that from here down, it stops about here. Right here, where the other fender was there. So about 2 inches of height on the fender is lost using those fenders. But when you're thinking of doing a 2-inch drop with drop spindles in the front, that's not so bad, especially if I'm running an offset tire. So what I'm thinking in my head is that the front rims or the front tires have to be, I'm thinking 15, so I stick with the original 15 inch, 15 by 8, no, 15 by 9 with a 2.5 inch backspace. So it'll bring the tire out. It'll bring the whole rim out. And that size is actually available. What I want to do is probably do that size in the front and then do 15 by 10s in the back. That's my idea. So what I will do is I will take you to the other side and show you what the Volkswagen fender looks on here. And you decide, because I think I'm going to go with it. So there it is, mounted. So I like that whole look. Actually, I took a picture with one side of the Volkswagen and then one side of the old fender, and I'll put that here. So it looks way better with that fender. And like I said, this is why it's so difficult to do anything on the driver's side and show you, is because I've only got like, I don't know, 6-7 feet. But as you can see from here to here, there's nothing. But I can make something right there, because I got to remake this anyway because it's kind of falling apart. But there. And then when you get up inside, that's the one bolt that actually matches up-ish. But none of the other ones do. And then back here, I just have a pair of clamps right there. And up there to hold the front. Right there. But I'll be honest, I like it. I like it a lot. And then I have to bring in this gap here. As you can see, I'll have to cut the fender a little bit right there to get the swoopy. And then right there. And this all has to be redone anyway. But if you look, my bumper brackets, right where the bumper is supposed to be, the brackets, that's right where the frame is on the inside. So that's super exciting. Okay, so since the other side had the bolt hole open, I could put the nut, or I could put the bolt, the original bolt in, and it was good to go. So this side does not, so I have to figure this out. I may just kind of open it up right here, just so I can get a wrench on the bolt on the back side, so I can tighten it up on the front side. What I would like to do, actually, honestly, is make it so these can bolt on and off. So I may do that on all of them. Like once the holes are mapped out, I'll probably drill the holes, right? And then put the nut through, or the stud through, and then just kind of like weld it on the inside just a little bit, just enough to hold it in place so I can put the fender on, put the nut on, and that's it. I don't have to sit there and do like one of these things with all the fender all up in my grill, so to speak. So what I do have to do is I have to knock all these down. That one I'm probably going to just open that up right now, because I got to get that out of the way. So these fenders, front fenders and the rear fenders, I got those too because maybe I can make those work on the back, because they kind of got that cool swoop on them. I only paid like $100 for these things. Brand new. They can go anywhere from 160 and up for fenders, and these are in pretty good shape. Yeah, this one's got a little rust right here, but that's not so bad. But overall, instead of buying new fenders and seeing if this is going to work, I just buy crappy ones for $50 and see if they'll work. So we'll try it. All right, guys, so as you can see, boop, I opened it up here. I just put a nut through there, or a bolt through there with a nut on the other side, just as a hanger. But probably what I'll do is, like I said, I'll probably weld little studs out. But that's the one hole that actually matches up. And then I just kind of opened it up so I could set it on it. Like that, right? Kind of gets it done that way. So let's just kind of tighten this up a little bit. Just a little. So we're gonna clamp it up front. I know it doesn't look like much right now. Meaning like there's no way that's gonna fit with all this going on here. It will. So let's bring that up right there. Clamp it right there. There you go. The biggest thing in the front is how it does that deal. But anyway, so here I need my big pliers. And this is where you got to kind of bend it a little. Get it past that lip and then bring it up. See that? The lip is folded out. See if I can bring you in here just to show you what I'm doing. I can't go through there. Maybe right here. So this lip right here, maybe like this. Maybe with a little light. Can you see it? Yeah, there you go. So this lip right here is folded out, so I got to fold it in. And how I do that is I just take a pair of pliers like that and then just bring it in. So all I'm really doing is rough fitting these in. I do realize there's going to be a little bit of modifications. But overall, getting 2 inches this way in, getting the better headlights in my mind, and it gives you the basic shape of everything that I need. For $100 for these fenders, you can't really go wrong with that. I don't know. So you see what I'm kind of doing. So let me fix this up there. Right there. That's where I want it. Oh, these ones suck. Let's go this way. Yeah. There we go. Maybe. Nope, it won't fit. These things suck. Cheap Harbor Freight ones for the win. See that? Look at that. And there it is. Let me lower it down. So there we go. So like I was saying, this fender from here to here is 9 inches. The old fenders from here out was 11. So we'll do that. So here we go. So from here to here, well actually it's 9.5. It used to be out to here. So I just made up an inch, almost 2 inches coming in that way by just swapping out to these headlights or these fenders. Now the issue here is that the tire arch is about 3 inches taller. So it used to be 3 inches lower. So it's taller by 3 inches, which is fine because I'm going to be using, I'm going to probably put in 2-inch drop spindles on this, so it'll lower me down. It'll probably actually lower me down another 3 inches, even though they're 2-inch drop spindles. Once you get the weight of everything in here, you figure another inch down after that. So it should bring me down, right? So my back spacing, so right now I'm at 10 inches deep from the back of the rotor, or from the front of the rotor to the outside of the fender is 10. So if you figure a 9-inch wheel with even with a 4-inch backspace, yeah, well, 2.5. Yep, 2.5-inch back. Now this is just rough measurements. So 2.5-inch backspace, which they make, and a 9-inch wheel. It'll put my tire just on the inside. Now, if I wanted to run a 1-inch spacer to bring it out a little bit, I feel that it would be okay. My 3100 truck, the blue truck, I ran 2-inch spacers in the front to get the wheel out. But I like it. And then when we look in the front, so now I'm going to pull the camera off and then I'm going to show you in the front. So in the front, it just looks awesome. Like, I like those lights better. So obviously we got to pull this in there. And this is what I was talking about right here. Right. I got to remake all this anyway. So if I make it just about 1 inch, 2 inches lower, I'm okay with that. But I have to, just like that. So I'd rather alter the fenders than alter the truck, right? Especially for what I paid for these things. Yep. So once this should bring it in closer, because this is what's holding me right now, is this. So once I do that, I can bring it in closer, mark where I need the studs to come out to be able to weld up the little nuts on the back side, or the little studs that come out, and it'll be awesome. Now on this side, on this fender here, I do have a winky do right here. So it's a push out here and a push down there. So it's causing the fenders to do weird stuff, but it's the same thing. I already marked it with a pencil right there. Yep. I mean, I could just weld the fenders on and not move them, but before I do that, I want to make sure everything else is going to be good. So let's raise it up in the air. We'll tighten a few things and go from there. So this back part right here, I want it out just a little bit more, right? Yep. So I'm going to have to kind of bring this out a little bit, just so it's a little bit more, well, that's what I'm thinking anyway. But I think overall this is going to be awesome. I like it a lot. And that just looks good. That looks way more better. So this is sitting down about a 1/2 inch lower than that side, but that's because this side is actually attached right here. This side is attached to nothing. So I got to kind of bring this in a little bit. Actually, yeah. So it's got to come in like that. There we go. So I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut these right here. These little, because these fenders right here go like that and then come down, whereas these actually have a swoop. So let me just cut that. Let me trace it out here. So like I said, it's very hard to get the camera up in here, but I'm marking the holes of these fenders onto here, and then I'm going to be drilling holes for 3/8 by 16 bolts. So it'd probably be 3/8 hole everywhere up through there. I'm probably going to notch out underneath like I did on that upper one, just to be able to put a bolt through there and get on it. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. So just know that that's what I'm going to do. Not too shabby. So there we go. I'm not mad about that at all. Right through there, down through there, the door opens, doesn't hit, plenty of room. Like I said, right here I want to kind of bring that out a little bit. And then up through here, I just kind of cut that hard edge off, like right there, and just made it more. So what I'll do is this all has to be fixed anyway, but now my bottoms of the fenders are even across. This is just missing a lot of stuff, right? But yeah, I like that. So let me actually put the grill on, see how it looks. Yep. Yep, I like that way better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch up this side with that side. Like I said, I show you everything on the passenger side because it's easier because I've only got this much room on that side. So let me see if I can get this caught up. We'll be right back. All right, guys, I got the driver's side all caught up. So there's that one. Let me flip you around. I'll show you what I did. So as you can see, I cut little notches. This side I wasn't too worried about because I still have to coat all that. But all the way around to put the bolts through, right there. And then I didn't do anything yet down here because I have to fix this front part here. Here, I do have the piece, I believe, right there. And then the same on this side. I just kind of cut out holes. Like I said, it's just metal, guys. Once I figure out, probably what I'm going to do is actually weld these fenders onto the cab. Because, you know, I got to replace the metal all through here anyway because it's separated from the actual inner structure, I guess you could say. So it's separated from this inner piece. So if this is all welded up, that'll give me my strength back once I'm going in there to fix that, if that makes sense. I know it sounds weird, but so here, so before the fender would go all the way up to the top, yeah, I'm down about, you know, about a ½ inch there and about 2 inches up there. But overall, the door still flows with it, right? And then right here, you can see that little bit of gap right there. I'm not too worried about that little gap. Not when I gain all this benefit up here and I gain in that way and I gain more height so I can actually drop the whole thing down lower. I don't know, it seems like a win-win to me. All right, so let me see what I'm going to work on next. I'll be right back. Good morning, guys. So yesterday I kind of lost audio when I was doing this patch panel right here to get it to swoop in, but what I was saying is that was the next thing I was going to work on to get that so I can work on this part, right? And I ran my battery down on my phone. That was a good day. So what I'm going to try to work on today is, since I started this side right here, I'm just going to continue it over and then probably work on this side right here as well. A lot of the, let me get you in here so you can see. Doop. So what I was saying is I always add a little extra material when I weld something in, so it transfers the heat out, right? And then I come back and trim it. So since I'm not sure how I'm going to be putting this piece in, I didn't trim this section yet, but it comes and it's wrapped all the way around that I got it in there. I started blowing through on this metal here, on the Volkswagen metal right here. So I got to come back and, you know, those little here and right here on the edge. But I like it. And so now I'm going to work on this piece. So this was all 18 gauge, and then here I'm going to use 18 gauge to figure this out here. So I kind of want this down to come down and then come across, but kind of retain the shape here. So and a lot of people I'm seeing on their trucks that they actually get rid of that hole and the dimple that you would normally be here. Right there. So I marked it on the bottom of where this is going to be, and then when I come to this side, after I finish this piece here, that'll give me a good idea to work on this side. So let me grab some 18 gauge I have laying around here, because the big sheet that I have is basically I want to do for the engine hump, but I think I got some over there. And then I want to continue the sweep-ish down, because this actually could go, if I were to put here and just kind of maybe relief cut that and get it down a little more. But let's see how it goes, because honestly from the side view it looks right in the front all the way across. What's throwing it all off is this mess and nothing here. So my thing is, I want to go here. I'm going to retain this little lip here, but then after that it'll come here and then down and then across. So that's kind of what I'm going to do today. So give me a second here. Let me get some metal up, and then we'll start making patterns and that sort of thing. Alrighty, so I do not have 18 gauge in a smaller piece, so I'm gonna have to break into the big piece. That's okay. But I got my template, so I'm coming up quite a bit to get rid of all this nasty metal here. But I'm gonna keep, you know, that little swoopy thing right there. But there you go. So this right here is what I got going on. So let me transfer this over to 18, And I am going to bend it, so there is a little bit of a bend in there. So it's kind of but flat here. I kind of know what I want to do here. So yeah, I'll get into this. I'll be right back. Just kind of put it over your knee and bend it a little. Okay, so let me cut that out. So that's the piece that I cut off right here. So for that shape, I use that piece to kind of hammer that down in, right? So I got a little bit more right there. Oh, sorry. There we go. So now I should. Yep. So I'm going to follow it along this line right here. So I need a little bit more bend right there. Let me clean that up. All right, guys, so let's just weld this in and then we'll massage the rest into place. Alright guys, so no microphone on this one because I was just looking at the video and I forgot to tell you how I did some of this stuff on this side. So let me kind of put this in here real quick and then I'll insert it into the video where it needs to be. So the last you saw before I started working on the radiator was I welded this all in here, through here, and through here, right? But I did not show you this piece or this piece that's over here. So to keep the shape all the way around, down and through, what I did was I just took the template, I shoved it in there. I'll show you on this side. And as you can see, it's basically the shape of what I need right here. So I welded this one in, and then I welded this one in down to here. And then I bent the metal around and then welded it on both sides to get that curve. See? So it's all, let me get down underneath here. So you can see it's all wrapped all the way around. And I did the same on that side. Well, like that. There and then there. So I just wanted to show you that because I finished this and then I jumped right into the radiator. So that's how it goes. Anyhow, enjoy the radiator part. So I got this side pretty good. It's this side. So I actually took some piece of welding wire, wrapped it up to the upper mount up there for the hood so I can get my even across. So that so I like that this way. So now I'm trying to get straight this way. Not when you bang it around. Okay. Okay, I'm still even across that way. So I notched out, this is a piece of 3/16 plate. So I notched it out so it would sit on that piece of angle, just like that. So hopefully, just like that. So now what I'm doing is I'm checking for this way. So it needs to go forward a little to be even. Because right now it's kind of pushed back a little, right? So put it right there. Let me get my marker. And then I'm marking the holes to mount that plate up. And then once this plate gets mounted to here, then I can run it out to get the top more stable. That's my plan anyway. There's even there to there. So it needs to come forward just a little right there. Yep. Right there. For clearance there to there. Let me mark this right here. Alright, so now let's gingerly take that out. And there's my marks. All drilled. So we set this in there, right there, like that. There. Oh. That, okay. Whew. So there to there. There to there. So that can move forward just a little. And that back right there. Bam. So that should be it. Half inch. Half inch. Perfect. Okay. So now what I want to do is basically weld these pieces in on the bottom. Yes. Okay. So hopefully this will be what it'll be. And it'll be amazing. Okay, so I need to Nice. Okay. I'm just going to commit to that because I know it's right this way and I know it's right this way. And the hoses are all good. Okay, let me find my helmet. All right, guys, so you guys see me do this side. So I just knocked this side out real quick. Same process as that side. And then we got the radiator in there. So I think that's gonna be it this time around. We got a lot of stuff done. I mean, really? These are awesome. So thanks for tuning in and seeing what cool stuff we got going on this weekend. And hey, go on and build something cool. One weekend at a time. See you next week, guys. Bye.